Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha. Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha. Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Phalachandro Gajananaha. Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyadviradavatrādhya Parishadhya Parasatham Vignum Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipaya Namvyasam Sarvabhuta Hiteratam Vedabjabhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munin Janmadhyasya Yaton Vayat Idaratascha Arthesh Abhignaha Swarat Tene Brahma Hruda Yaha Adikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayah Tejovari Mrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatrutru Sargo Brasha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirastha Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochida Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atravastu Sivadam Tapatrayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Parairi Saraha Sadhyo Hrudihi Avarudhyate Trakrutibihi Susrushibihi Takshanat Migama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sukha Mukat Amrta Dravasam Yutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha Yam Pravajantam Anupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Ajuhava Putreti Tan Mayataya Saravaha Abhineduhu Tam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Yas Svanubhavam Akhila Sutisaramekam Adhyatma Deepamapi Titishatam Tamondhama Samsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Surumupayami Gurum Muninam Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Naroptamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Now with Swami's Anugraham, we will continue from where we left off yesterday. We came up to Slokam 41, Adhyayam 13, Skandham number 4. Akride kridataha balan vayasyan atidarunaha sathya niranukrosaha pasumaram amarayat. The most cruel Vena, grabbing, getting hold of his friends of his age, young children playing in the playing field, dragging them, and without even an iota of compassion or daya, niranukrosaha, anukrosaha, without any, very small, krosaha, even the smallest compassion, niranukrosaha, without that, so cruelly, pasumaram, like killing animals, amarayate, he killed them. That up to that point we came. Even reading about it sounds so torturous, isn't it? That's how cruel he was. Number 42. Tam vichakshya Khalam putram, very important. Suputram, khalam putram, okay? Tam vichakshya khalam putram sasanaihi vividaihi nrupaha yada na sasitum kalpaha brusam asit sudurmanaha tam vichakshya khalam putram sasanaihi vividhair nrupaha yada na sasitum kalpaha brusam asit sudurmanaha. That Nrupa, that king Angarajan, when you have a child like this, so cruel, now much worse than bad behavior, how will you feel? Just think. So Angarajan, that cruel, barbaric, tyrannical child, looking at him, trying to punish him, correct him with different ways, several punishments meted out, several corrective actions taken in different ways, but could not control him. The boy continues. So how will the father feel? So he became extremely miserable. That's the meaning of this sloka. Nrupaha tam kalaputram vichakshya. Vichakshya, seeing that Angarajan king, tam, that Kalaputram, the cruel son, Dushtapillayai, again grammatical, Kalaputram. Kalaputraha is a subject, the cruel son. Kalaputram, that Pillayai, okay? Kalaputram Vichakshya, seeing him, Vividaihi Sasanaihi. Sasana means very punishments, corrective actions. Okay? And Vividaihi, different types. Sasanaihi, yada, when Sasitum Nakalpaha, with various punishments and control mechanism when he could not control him. Sasitum Nakalpaha, to control. Sasitum, to control. Sasanaihi, various control steps that you take. Anusasanam is a directive. Okay, like that you can understand the word. So Sasitum, to control. Nakalpaha, when it did not happen, it was not possible. Yada, when he found it out. Tada, at that time. Brusam Sudurmanaha. Sudurmanaha means miserable. Brusam Durmanaha, extremely miserable. Asit, he became very miserable, extremely miserable, seeing his cruel son who could not be controlled even with different types of corrective actions. Number 43. Prayena abhi architaha devaha apraja griha medhinaha kadapatya bhutam dukkham ye na vindanti durbharam. Now next few slokas has to be understood very carefully. They are statements of truth that happens in everybody's life, and it's to be understood very, very carefully. Number 43. Prayena abhyarchitaha devaha ye apraja vidinaha kadapatya bhrutam dukkham kadapatya bhrutam dukkham ye na vindanti durbharam. Now, for those people who have not had cruel children, and because of the miseries and the sufferings that a bad son creates and gives, people who have not had this, and those people, householders, who do not have any children at all. For these people, by these people, it must be really true that Bhagavan has been worshipped by them. Just imagine how he says. It is better to have no child than to have a bad child. So if you have good children and you have not experienced the sufferings, pain caused by bad children because you have been blessed with good children, or if you don't have any child at all, since then that also you have not experienced the sufferings caused by a bad child, Bhagavan must have been truly, truly worshipped by them, is what he says here. Ye durbharam kadapatya bhritam dukkham na vindanti. Ye, ever heard who? Durbharam, unbearable. Unbearable. Kadapatya bhrita dukkham. Kadapatya bhrita. Created by tyrannical, barbaric, bad child. The sufferings and the misery, navindanti, have not experienced it, have not got it. Ye dukkham navindanti. Those who have not had this suffering, what type of suffering? Kadapatya brita dukkham. The sufferings created by bad and cruel children, and durbharam dukkham, unbearable sufferings and pain given by bad children. Ye navindanti, those who have not had this. Point. Second is ye medinaha. Griha medinaha, householders. Aprajaha, that do not have any children. Okay. So those people who have not had this unbearable suffering caused by bad children, or those householders who don't have any children at all, by them, most probably, yes, very likely, Bhagavan abhyarchitaha, has been worshipped by them. The first statement he makes. How suffering and painful that he must have felt. Prayena abhyarchitaha devaha ye apraja vedinaha kadapatya bhritam dukkham ye na vindanti durbharam. Number 44 and 45. We will take it. For 44 and 45, very, very important slokam, and I have to understand it very carefully. It's important in the sense, not philosophically, but in the way our life is. Okay. Yataha papiyati kirtihi adharmascha mahat nunam yataha virodaha sarvesham yataha adihi anantakaha tam tapatesam vai mohabandhanam atmanah panditaha bahu manyeta yadarthaha esada gruhaha. Okay, we'll read it once more and then we'll go through padangal. Yataha papiyati kirtihi adharmascha mahan nunam yataha virodaha sarvesham yataha adihi anantakaha kaha tam prajapatesam vai mohabandhanam atmanah panditaha bahu manyeta yadarthaha klesada gruhaha. For those people by which son, infamy, disreputation happens, those people by which son, adharmam, great amount of papam accumulates, by which son the enmity of everyone occurs, and through which son endless pain and suffering and mental agony happens, those people, that they are called people. Prajapatesam, we'll come to the Padangal later, for those people, and being attached to them, that is a bondage of delusion, moha valai. That it is. But attaching to these type of children who are called human beings, they are really not. But being attached to them, that attaching the delusion, which buddhiman, which wise man will really appreciate that attachment? First point. Second thing is, through this lineage, through the children like this, successive generations through this type of children, the household will yield only misery. A home is supposed to be peaceful. Griham, home, will only be miserable. This will yield only misery. Okay? So, there's a bad boy in the house, behaves very badly, cruelly, tyrannically, brings enmity from everyone around, brings infamy. Suppose there's a thief there, a robber that happens to be your son. What kind of reputation you're going to have? Think like that. And also brings lots of papam to the household. Rama, and when you think of Ramayanam, Rama, dharma purushaha, isn't it? Vigrahavan dharmaha, we say, embodiment of dharma. So even today, he brings so much reputation to that kulam, Ikshvaku kulam. They may even read about it even today. Exactly the opposite happens when a bad son is born. And through this conduct and behavior of this bad son, unending pain and suffering only happens. Now, being attached to these people or putra, they are sons, but they are called human beings. Go by the name human beings, but they're really not. And then you're attached to them because that is moha balai, attachment of a delusion, moham, that bondage. Which wise person will appreciate it? Which wise person will support this type of bondage, this deluded bondage? Because even though they may be born as human beings, they're actually rakshasas, isn't it? Now, through the lineage of this generation of the generation from such sons, the home, only misery will be there in that home, is what he says. So, yataha is the word that comes 3 times. Yataha, through which son, through whom, yataha, we are talking about a son here. So, yataha, through which son? Nirunam, for human beings. Manijargalukku, yataha, yenda pillayin moolam, through which son? Papiyasi kirtihi, reputation, that is infamy, ill repute, happens. Nirunam yataha mahan adharmascha, great papangal also come, through which son? Yataha sarvesham virodaha, through which son enmity from everyone happens. Virodaha. Yataha anantakah adihi. Anantakah, endless. Adihi. Mental agony. Adi is beginning. This Dhi is the fourth Dha. Adi. Okay? Adi. Anantaka. Adihi. The mental agni. Anantaka, endless. Yataha, through which it happened. Come. That kind of a come prajapa upadesam. It's a beautiful word. We all call ourselves prajaha, right? We are all human beings. We call them, okay, praja, son, so many things. Praja means supreme joy is birth. So it is birth associated by the creator. Creation and the creator both are indicated by the word praja, supreme creation, to put it another way. And in colloquial language, we say birth, people who are born. Okay? But upadesam, desam means a place. Our body is a place, a temporary residence for you and me, like each other body. But so prajapatesam, come prajapatesam, people who pass for human beings. Those people who pass for human beings, they're really not human beings. They're so cruel. But they're called human beings. You and I are called human beings. But do we behave in a human way? They're demonic, isn't it? So that prajapatesam, atmanaha moha bandham, atmanaha, one's own self, moha bandham, the bondage of delusion. People, when you have father or a mother or whatever, for such demonic children, that moha bandhanam, that delusion caused out of ignorance, isn't it? Oh, he's my son, okay. But you are still attached to him. That delusion, kaha panditaha bahumanyeta, kaha pandita, which wise person will appreciate it, which praise it? Bahumanyeta, who will do it? That means it should not be praised. Now, so that's the first point. Let's read it. Nununam yataha papiyasi kirtihi mahan adharmascha sarvesham virodaha anantakah adihi tapatesam atmanah mohabandhanam kaha panditah bahumanyeta. I hope you understand it now. Second part is yatartaha, this son, this kind of a demonic son, the generations to him, grihaha, homes, klesa daha. Klesa means tumbam, suffering, misery, daha, to give. So this kind of a conduct will yield to generations only misery and pain for the generations to come. Yataha papiyasi kirtihi adharmascha mahan nunam yato viradaha sarvesham yataha adihi anantakah kaha tam prajapatesam vai mohabandhanam atmanah panditah bahumanyeta yadartaha klesadaha gruhaha. Number 46. Kadapatyam varam manye sadapatyate sucham padate nirvidhyeta gruhan martyah yat klesa nivaha gruhaha. So another statement thinking here which makes lots of sense, but even though most of us do not think like this, but it makes lots of sense. Kadapatyam varam manye sadapatyate sucham padate nirvidhyeta gruhan martyah yat klesa nivaha gruhaha. For which reason household that is bringing up a demonic child is full of misery and pain and suffering. So because of that reason, man will be compelled leave that household because it's so full of misery and pain because of the demonic behavior of the child. Because of that reason, that household, that griham itself becomes a reason for misery and suffering. So, for that reason, man with fully dejected, giving up everything hopelessly, okay, and he will leave that house and go away because of this reason of this demonic behavior and the misery caused by that. This demonic behavior of the child is a cause for the man to get dejected in his own house. It pushes him and drives him away from the house. Hence, having such bad children is better than having good children, because this is a causative factor. This inspires you to move away, seek the company of God. So in that sense, he looks at this as a blessing. His suffering and the pain that Vena is causing him, in spite of all the things he tries to correct them, pain and misery only increases. Imagine if you have to come to a house, come to your own home, live in a home full of churches, fights and arguments and pain and misery and complaints, not even forget an iota of happiness, only misery, violent behaviors. How will you feel like living in that house? You'll be driven out with that bad behavior, and not only by the bad behavior, but the suffering and the mental agony that bad behavior causes, you'll be driven out of that house. In that sense, having this kalaputras, as he said, the durmakkal, the bad children, is better than having a good boy. This is what he says in the slokam. Kadapatyam varam manye sadapatyate sucham padate nirvidyete gruhan martyah yat klesa nivaha gruhaha yat gruhaha klesa nivaha. By what reason? Gruhaha, the house that is bringing up a demonic, cruel child, because we are talking about that, so the gruha means applies to this adjective. Klesa nivaha, full of misery and sufferings and pain. Because of that reason, yet by which reason, this household that is bringing up a cruel son is full of misery and sufferings and mental agony and torturers. Because of that reason, martyaha, man, human being, sucham padat, reason for the reason that is causing the suffering and pain. The sucham padat means that துன்பங்களுக்கு காரணமான, the reason that is causing all this. Okay, what is that reason? Grihat, household. The household is bringing up a bad boy, full of misery and sufferings only. So the household itself becomes a cause for you to stay there. So from this, martya, grihat, from that house, martyaha, man, nirvidyeta, dejectedly he will get out of that household. Therefore, sadapatyat, better than good children, bad children, varam manye, is better, is what I think. Sangarajan thinks. Okay, how dejected he must be. Think for a second. Don't look at this, that is hypothetically. If you are put in this situation, what will you do? Right? At some point, you tried everything you can, nothing works. What happens? You feel dejected. and you want to get out. Okay? And very true, very important. And nirvidyata means, I use the word dejected, but not only hopeless, but dejected or depressed and completely giving up. And everybody reaches a situation in life, we say, cha-cha, that we cannot take this anymore. That situation is there, so he gets out. So in that sense, he says, Sadapatyate Kadapatyam Varam Manye, 47. So, Evam Saha Nirvinnamana Nrupaha Grihate Nifita Uttaya Maho Dayo Dayate Alabdha Nidraha Anupalakshitaha Drubihi Itva Kataha Venasuvam Prasuptam Evam Saha Nirvinnamana Nrupaha Grihate Nifita Uttaya Maho Dayo Dayate Alabdha Nidraha Anupalakshitaha Nrubihi Hitva Gataha Venasuvam Prasuptam. So the king was suffering, torturous experiences he's going through mentally like this. Completely hopeless situation for him. Okay, so what did he do? He's so sad and agonizing. And so at night time, without sleep, he could not sleep at all. So he leaves behind his house, his griham. He's a king, full of wealthy resources, prosperous palace. He leaves. At night time, he leaves. And without being spotted by anybody, and leaving behind the mother of Vena, who was sound asleep, he went away. Evam saha nirvinnamanaha nrupaha grihat nisita utthaya mahodayodayate alabdha nidraha anupalakshitaha nirbihi ishitva gataha venasuvam prasuptam. So, evam nirvinnamanaha, evam thus, nirvinnamanaha, with agonizing mind, torturous, the unbearable pain and suffering he has got in his mind. Please understand that. Nrupaha, king, the king, Nisite or Nisita, night time, basically at midnight, Alabdha Nidraha, without sleep, not sleeping, Mahodayo Dayat Grihat, very prosperous, opulent palace, Grihat, from that palace, from that house. Uttaya, he is leaving that, coming out. Uttaya, beginning, starting there. Nirbihi Anupalakshitaha, Nirbihi by the people, Anupalakshitaha, Upalakshitaha, Anupalakshitaha, not being spotted by the people. Prasubdam Venasuvam, Prasubdam, deeply asleep. Venasuvam, the mother of Vena. Hitva, Venasuvam, the Venanuடைய தாயாரை, grammatically Suvam. Okay, Venasuvaha is mother of Vena. Venasuvam Hitva, leaving behind that mother. Okay, that English is not possible to translate it properly. So Hitva, leaving behind the mother of Vena, Venanuடைய தாயாரை, he went away. Number 48. Vijnaya nirvidya gatam patim prajaha purohitamatya suhrut ganadayaha vichikyuhu urvyam atisoka kataraha yatha nigudham purusham kuyoginaha. Very interesting. Okay. Vijnaya nirvidya gatam patim prajaha purohitamatya suhrut ganadayaha vichikyuhu atisoka kataraha yatha nigudham purusham ku yoginaha. The pandits, the ministers, various friends and everybody and the people coming to know, learning of that the king has gone away in absolute disgust and dejection, has gone away. Naturally, they became very sad, very sad. So they went and searched for him all over the earth, all over the kingdom, Urvyam, on the earth. Okay, they searched for him. What was the search like? It was like kuyoginaha. Those yogigal follow wrong path of meditation, searching for the indweller, the Atma, and when you follow the wrong path, the incorrect path, how can you just come to face with the Atma? So it will be failure. So kuyoginaha, okay? So they're the people who are going the wrong way. Like that, they searched for the king all over the place. Obviously, they could not find him. So purohitam adya suhrut ganadayaha. Purohitam Purohita Amatya Suhrute Gana Adayaha. Purohitas, Pandits, Vedic Pandits, and Amatyaha are the ministers, Suhrute, the well-wishers, the friends, Adayaha, and other groups, Prajaha, various citizens, Patim, Nirvidya Patim Nirvidya Gatam. Pati is the king. So Patim Nirvidya Gatam, the king having got out, having gone away, disgust and dejection, Nirvidya Gatam, Vijnaya, learning about it. Nirvidya Gatam, Vijnaya, coming to know, learning of the king, giving up everything and gone away in disgust and dejection. Ati soka kataraha, extremely sad and very miserable they became. Okay, nigudham purusham kuyoginaha. Nigudham, the Atma that is dwelling inside, but you cannot see, it's concealed. It's behind that Maya. So that purusham, that Atma, way kuyoginaha, how the yogigal who follow the wrong way of doing dhyanam, and they could not find it. Like that, yatha, how they search for it, like that, urvyam vichikyuhu, urvyam, on the earth, vichikyuhu, they searched for him. Vijnaya nirvidhya katampatim prajaha purohitamatya suhrit ganadayaha vichikyuhu urvyam atisoka kataraha yatha Gudham Purusham Kuyoginaha. Now, number 48. Alakshyantaha Padavim Prajapatehe Hatodhyamaha Prati Upasrutya Te Purim Rishin Sametan Abhivandhya Sastravaha Nya Vedayanne Paurava Bhartru Viplavam. Alakshyantaha Padavim Prajapatehe Hatodhyamaha Prati Upasrutya Te Purim Rishine Sametan Abhibandhya Sastravaha Na Vedayanne Paurava Bhartru Viplavam. Paurava ye Puruvam Satane, Puru, Kauravan, Puru, the lineage addressing Vidura, Maitreya is describing. Prajapatehe Padavim Alakshayantaha. In Alakshyam, we say, colloquially, Alakshyam, this is the word, it's all come from. Alakshyam means something you're not paying attention to. Actually, you're not seeing it. Lakshyam, Alakshyam, something you're not seeing. So, Prajapatehe Padavim Alakshayantaha. Prajapatehe, the kings, Rajanudaya, Angarajanudaya, grammatically Prajapatehe. Okay, Prajapati, Prajapatehe, Angarajanudaya, Padavim, where he is, the place where he is, Padavim, and the Iripidatai, Prajapatehe Padavim, the place where the king is, Alakshayantaha, not being able to see it. So, Hatodhyamaha, Hata Udhyamaha, their efforts being wasted.
I think he's disconnected, right?
That's what I thought. Let's wait.
Okay.
Maybe his battery died. It just disappeared. Heard a sound click. Yeah.
How is your audio, by the way? Is it coming in full stream? Because I'm getting oh, I see. Because that must be my phone then. He comes. I'm losing a lot of words.
Bala, I have the same problem. He fades in and out.
So what did you do, Janaki? Huh?
I don't do anything. I assume it's his problem and I just put up with it.
Yeah, what I'm doing is I hang up sometimes and then I reconnect, try to see maybe it is my phone. It's not helping.
Oh, it's not that bad for me.
I feel like he fades away sometimes, He's talking, but I kind of...
using a battery, the earplugs or whatever the people use now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That's why maybe. I'm guessing. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, true.
I usually use the speaker. I don't use the earphones, so nobody is in my room, so I usually put it on speaker.
So you don't think he fades away when you hear him?
No, because I don't use any of the other equipment devices for my ears, so probably it doesn't
none of us are using either.
No, none of us are using.
Yeah, we're not using anything.
On his end, it's not clear.
He is using it, probably.
Yeah, he is using it, I think,
Yeah, till he connects, I had a couple questions today. I don't know if you guys felt like I was about to ask him those two questions. One was, the bad son that is being born, is it the karma of the king? Keeping on, blaming Vena, right? Maybe it's the karma of the king.
Well, that's what he's saying today, right? It's karma of the king and the past family members.
What family?
And then, that's why that's a lesson for us not to do that.
No, look at his luck. I mean, he gets a payasam from that, from the fire to get this son. He was happy without having a progeny.
Right? Meditate.
He was pining away for the son, and now he regrets it. Yeah.
And another thing was, they only talk about the king and the lady is sleeping, and won't she feel bad for having a bad son? Nothing about her.
Oh. She's fast asleep.
Huh? Not only is she having a bad diet, but the husband also just leaves her at school. So,
She has to put up both the father and the son.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Anna, how does that work? I mean, the mother will be equally sad, right?
Good question.
That he's gone. Do you think he's gone?
These are the questions I wanted to ask him today. Yeah.
Yeah, let me. He's gone.
Did he send a message or what happened?
Maybe I did. Anand, can you call uncle on your phone? I'll have Anand call from another line. Where's your phone, Anand? Can you give it to me, please?
Maybe his battery is gone. Otherwise he would have connected back.
I have a feeling that's what's happened. Something must like that only.
Maybe that is why the disturbance was too, probably. Yeah.
Or he doesn't realize he's not disconnected.
I don't think he realizes. Yeah, I think so. Call ended.
I hate spell check. I had to type 3 times to get it right.
1 second.
Oh, okay.